God, this is difficult to do with a mouse left-handed. Hold on. Check my audio. Okay. I think we're good. Woo! No idea how much hoopla I've had to do to get this set up. But here we are. Right. There we go. And hopefully that's coming through as well. If not, oops. No BGM on the stream, I guess. But I'm sure people will let me. Anyway. Good now, everyone. I hope this broadcast finds you well. My name is Artorius Winchester, and welcome back to the 18th edition of our VTuber cocktail series. And also the first one of this year, and the first one in about 2 years at this point? Yeah. Long story short, I did some, I am so human and curiosity. Curious. Hello, Artorius. Hello there. Assuredly human and curious friends in the chat. I hope you're all doing excellently. Oh. But yeah, I'm doing quite well myself. I have spent... God, it must have been like almost 2 hours trying to set this up. It should not have taken me 2 hours, but like... There's so many extra hoops to jump through getting this set up compared to when I was at the like previous place. Because like, the previous place I had a space next to my computer desk where I could just like move the keyboard over, and that was really like all the setup that needed to be done, and like just twizzle the monitors around. Now I gotta move like my entire PC up and down a floor. You may notice that we are back on a PNG arty as opposed to full VTuber arty because I could not work out how to get a camera rigged up for this. Now that I've seen kind of like what I'm working with, I think there's scope to do that in the future. But for right now, kind of a non sequitur. Also, actually, I don't know why I'm waving my hands around. You can't even see them yet. But if I go and find this, there we go. We should be able to see hands. Hey, it's a hand cam stream. I've been doing all like this and that while I've been talking, and it hasn't even fucking mattered. So like, whatever. Oh. But yes, so, for those of you who haven't been to one of these things before, which might be all of you to be fair, because it has been a while, one of the things I quite like is making cocktails, well, you know, like mixology, but I don't like to be that fancy about it. He's made of meat now, how horrifying. I know, it is regrettable, but it has happened. Oh. I have, actually, yeah, Pixel, you might be OG enough to have actually seen one of these before, at like the old joint, opposed to this new one. But yeah, I'm also just going to keep half an eye on the BGM to make sure it's not getting too loud. Partly because I don't want it being anything more than like stuff in the background. And partly because I keep getting copyright claimed on it. So I'm hoping if I just lower the volume a bit on it, it'll be like background but not seeable. You haven't done one of these for the whole of the time I've known you. Yeah, Morn, yeah, I think we first like started talking a while after I'd stopped doing these because I moved into this place and I needed to do a lot of work on this place, so I didn't have this nice table, and also this entire place where I am currently looked like a construction site. It still kind of does, but at least I can have like this bit that looks normal. Oh. Now, Artorius hand reveal. Indeed, Walsian. I am indeed Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Yippee. Oh. But yeah, welcome in everyone. I hope you're all doing well. So, for those of you who don't know how these work, they're normally like a bit shorter streams because I make cocktails on them. When I make cocktails, I like to make them reasonably strong because I'm lazy and I want 2 drinks to see me through an evening. So, we're going to make 2 drinks for different VTubers. I've got a little PowerPoint prepared. Holy crap, 5-finger theory confirmed. Yeah, you were right about that. I do, in fact, have 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand. He has 10 fingers. I'll add this to the record. Oh. But yeah. So we're going to be using some of these wonderful bottles that you might see behind me, which I'll bring into focus as and when. Assuming I can just about reach them if I, like, twizzle around. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of that. I'm also... You're going to have to tell me if it feels like the sound's coming through just one of your ears. My monitor is kind of set up, like, over here. So I'm looking around that way a lot to make sure that the stream hasn't, like, exploded. But yeah. Sound is good. I can see what I assume is the RGB fans of your computer and the reflection amount. Oh, can you? Oh, in this one. I think that's my mouse, actually. Hold on, I can maybe bring that on, oops. I can punch the camera as well, but I can maybe bring that on stream. Yeah, that's my mouse, which is probably doing that. So I got that up here. It's just off camera. Ugh. I see a funny light. That's it. Yep, that'll be the one. My phone is bleeping at me, which probably got picked up by my mic, but I really need to set this on fucking Do Not Disturb so I don't get like a billion Twitch notifications while I'm doing this. Unfortunately, it ain't happening at the minute. Here we go. Can I? No, I can't. Fuck it. Whatever. Well, if you hear bleeps, I'm sorry. Anyway. Oh. God. I'm glad I'm here. God, the getting here bit gets longer every time. But still, we've got some cocktails to make, so let's dive into that, shall we? Which means I'm going to need the presentation back up, and I'm going to need to relearn how to drive the presentation. This mouse needs a bit more cable. There we go. So, our first... I cannot left-hand a mouse. I simply cannot. It's not doable. Not possible. Yeah. So where is here? I think no, it's here. Sure, it's here now. So VTuber cocktails, the 18th round. Our first VTuber is black text might give away. We're going to a slightly lighter background here. None other than a Miss Gigi Murin. We're going to be starting off with a cocktail for Gigi, which I think is pretty cool. Our signature bars are making a return. I have not updated these in the slightest. In the year you think I was gone, you thought maybe I've made things better. I was busy. So, no, not really. Also, I should mention, while I've got this PowerPoint up, I'm going to just maybe Alt-Tab backwards and forwards to, like, OBS. Whoa, I guessed it. Hell yeah, Pixel. Oh, because I only have one monitor down here, and it's shit, and they're also the wrong size, so my chat might cut off slightly early and all on the scroll, but it's fine. It's one of a myriad of things that we're just going to have to deal with. Oh. Anyway, so, a drink for Gigi Murin. What did I kind of end up making here? Sometimes these bars are like a, what am I aiming at? Sometimes these bars are a, this is how things ended up. But, I mean, they're both relevant to the drink that's being made regardless, so I think we're all right on that front. So, on the bitter to sweet scale, we're definitely on the sweeter side of things here. I didn't want to send full sweet because honestly, I think I mentioned this on the next kind of like, next slide, but there's a bit of a journey this one takes where it kind of goes through bitter and sweet. Like, it's got a couple of quite sweet elements and a couple of things to, like, balance that out, as well, which, again, not going to get into spoiling our ingredients yet, but there's definitely both of those in there. On the weak to strong scale, you may be surprised. We're actually going for some on the what I would consider to be the slightly weaker end here, because we're having, like, a lengthened drink, which means we're essentially mixing some spirits up, and then we're cutting it and, like, filling the rest of the glass up with, like a mixer, essentially. Which means that you're not just, you know, this isn't like shot strength or anything, or it's not like, not necessarily going to blow your head off. A couple of them might make you forget how to walk, but it's nothing, you know, that's going to be like, ooh, that's strong when you drink it. On the simplicity scale, yeah, we're like pretty simple here. I think the most complicated thing I'm going to have to do is like cut a lime maybe, but we're fine with that. I have just noticed I forgot to get my juicer, so I have to go and grab that in a minute, but it's fine. And finally, on hot to cold scale, yeah, we're still making cold drinks here. One day I will go back to making hot drinks. I've made 2 on this show before. One of them was called the Ovish Tea, and it's probably the best hot drink I've ever made. Maybe one of the best drinks I've ever made. And the other one was like an experiment, shall we say, and was kind of like drinking bolognese. Yeah, it was an interesting one. I definitely tried something. It fit a brief. I'm not sure it's something I'd maybe make for myself again without tweaking it. But it was something. Oh. There we go. Hi, Ati. Oh, hi there, Mimi. Nice to see you. I recognize that VTuber in the thumbnail. Hell yeah. I was there for the Ovish Tea. It went hard. The Ovish Tea did go hard, yeah. No, I was a super big fan of the Ovish Tea. Like, I mean, any excuse to, like, slip absinthe into something. But, like, also, yeah, it was so good. It was literally just a bundle of, like, warmth and happiness. I like that drink a lot. Make a cold drink and just microwave it. Do not let her cook. Do not let her cook. Oh. Revolutionizing mixology as we speak. Don't let me mix these. I was just saying, yeah. Oh, but yeah. So, I wanted to make something fun, bubbly, and sweet for Gigi, which I think is pretty fair based on her kind of character and her antics. I definitely wanted something that, like, had the vibes of some other drinks, but maybe was like a little mischievous, had a little kind of bit of a cheeky twist in there, you could say. And as I kind of mentioned before, this is very well rounded. So there's a flavor profile here that starts off kind of bitter, and then kind of the longer it's kind of in your mouth, the sweeter it gets, I think. It's very interesting. I'll try and describe it more once I've actually tasted it, because I'm remembering this from like earlier this week, but when I came up with this. But yeah. So now presenting the Grem's Ale. So let me switch back over to handy dandy hand cam here. We're back. So if I can, I need to move my sheet around. It's on the floor. Tells me what I'm actually doing here. There we go. Right. So we're going to start off. I'm going to start off by getting that juicer. Just give me 1 second. In fact, no, I have tech for this. I will be literally 2 seconds, but I got to show this off. Just give me a second. Got the bastard. There he is. Oh. That hand's borderline flesh tubing. Oh. I am at least gloved up to protect the delicate sensibilities of chat. But yeah, anyway. I will save that again for later, probably, but not right now. So, the first thing we're going to want is... that's not where my jigger is. That's also not where my jigger is. Oh, there it is. 1/2 ounce of lime juice. So, I have here, I need to push this a bit further ahead, actually. I have here 1 lime, which we're going to cut in half. Actually, I should probably roll this a bit first. If you roll limes between your palms like this, allegedly, you get a bit more juice out of them. I think it's particularly good if you've, like, refrigerated or, like, refrigerated your limes. It just helps, like, helps them be a bit less stiff. Or maybe it's just an old wives' tale, but hey, I do it. And we're going to cut this bad boy in half, and watch as this chopping board slides all over the table. I'm glad that's the only bit of cutting we have to do tonight. There we are. And then we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to have the small... It's real. Yeah, my sleeve keeps riding up on that hand, but oh well. So we've got a 1 ounce and 1/2 ounce jigger here. So for 1/2 ounce, we're just going to want to fill this bit. And we're going to drop that in there. I'm going to try my best to make my crappy depth perception work for us here. And hopefully that's going in. Hold on, let me... Yep, that's going in. Excellent. Go. Move the lime around a bit. Punch the camera. We are going to need a punched camera count at the end of these. I always do it a couple of times in these streams. Yeah. Then crush the lime again that way. Really get the most out of this. I mean, maybe these are just small limes, but you would be surprised how many limes it takes to get a decent amount of lime juice. There we go. Right, that's that half spent, I would say. Let's go get the other half, which is noticeably smaller, which is potentially concerning. There we go. Can I get you to stand on your side? No. Okay, then I guess we'll just do that. And another one. Please stand on your side, sir. No? Well, fuck me then, I guess. Alright. Aren't we going to need a second lime, or did I just, like, miss most of the juice from that first one? Let's have a gander, shall we? So that's not quite 1/2 ounce. Yeah, wow, that lime just had no juice in. The lime with no juice. A wonderful music choice, by the way. Thank you very much, yeah. The idea is you break open the membranes by rolling, making extracting all the juice easier since some of it is already freed. That's probably what, yeah, and... Yeah, probably a mix of that and also the, like, helping them warm up to be easier to squish. But also the membranes thing does sound good. Thank you for our resident biologist there, Pixel. I'm gonna get another lime. Give me just 1 second. There we go. I sure am glad that's the only bit of cutting we have to do tonight, he says, blissfully unaware. Right. Let me move you out the way. And then chop another one of these. Actually, roll it first. Do some of that membrane freeing we were just on about. But I wish these would bloody stay up. There we go. Nobody expects the second lime. Nobody expects the first lime to not have not even half an ounce of juice in it, to be fair. I got, like, actually scammed. What kind of a lime is this? There we go. Bit on the table, which I need to be careful about. That's fine. Then, right. Second lime. But yeah, no, on the music choice, I have always liked using the Valhalla soundtrack for this. It's kind of what got me into this whole jig, to be fair. Because I was like, damn, that's cool. I wonder if anyone's made these drinks in real life. And I found a channel, a Korean channel called Soul Bomb, who, you can look him up, actually, has made all of these. And I've stolen a lot of the recipes from them. His recipe for the Piano Woman, actual, like, chef's kiss. Excellence. One of my favorite drinks. Right, we're getting closer. That's that lime spent. Now we've got this half, which is bigger, so if we still can't make half an ounce by this, then I don't know. God hates us, I guess. Ugh. Right, okay, that's probably enough. That's probably a slight overpour now in the lime juice, but it's fine. It's fine. So, I'm going to start moving these into... Yo. Is any of this on camera? Some of it's on camera. There we are. Half an ounce of lime juice. Already. Lime. I haven't played the game, but it's been on my to-plays for ages, and I've listened to the OC on the regs. Oh, yeah, yeah. In fact, if I may take a slight tangent. Also, hi there, Flump. Hope you're doing well. Just that lime message. If I may make a slight tangent... I do have, within grabbing distance, one, damn, you can't really see her. I need to push her back. Whatever, I'll just do this. One Miss Jill Stingray. Look at her. So fucking cool. Oh. But yeah. Play Valhalla. It's a good game. Go back on the shelf she came from. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. Yeah, I am piloting this stream, I think, is probably the most charitable impression of this. Right. So let me move this spent stuff out the way. And I don't think we're going to need this juicer or knife anymore, so we can get rid of them as well. Just so we can... Oops. I can almost stab myself in the chest. That's what I can do, apparently. Right. There we go. So, next ingredient. We're going to be reaching around the back here. We're going to want 1.5 ounces of aged rum. Now, I am, of course, using my beloved Eldorado 8 years aged one here. I love this stuff. It's got a nice kind of like butterscotchy sweetness to it. It's definitely my weapon of choice when going for like aged rums. Don't die on stream, please. I will do my best, Tiny Sorcerer. I've got to dodge the death by sharp object. I've got to not trip over all these cables that are everywhere. I've got to make the drinks properly. There's a lot going on. Right, but yeah, anyway, so we're going to want 2 ounces. Check. Did I get all of that in there? Yeah, near enough. Of this lovely Eldorado. So we're going to put that in here now. He says, knowing full well that opening these bottles with gloves on is an exercise in pain. There we go. We got it, though. So, 1 ounce of rum. Lovely stuff, this. My depth perception almost failed me, and that just almost was tipped on the blue mat, but it's fine. Well, it wouldn't have been fine, but you get what I mean. And there's your 2nd ounce. That's the good stuff right there. If he dies, the rules of the Blood and the Clock test is his ghost can still run the game. Oh. Does my ghost have to run the stream? that what we're playing at here? Ugh, I mean, fair enough. Right. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding some of the, like, kind of the sweeter, I guess, like, funkier elements to this drink. Now, a rum drink and, like, some good fruits and that isn't necessarily the most out there concept. Like, you know, you're pretty much kind of going into the realm of tiki drinks there. But this drink, actually, if you can believe it, started out as a mule, which is a family of drinks where you have, like, absinthe and, like, ginger ale, and I kind of just workshopped it from there into this. So I'm combining a few different ideas here. And our next bottle is going to be Passoa, which is this passion fruit liqueur, which is pretty interesting. Interesting looking and smelling stuff. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's definitely very passion fruity. I think whereas you can get some passion fruits that can be quite tart and sour, this definitely leans more on the sweet side of things. I don't know to alarm you, but on screen the chat stopped moving. Hold on. Okay, that's fine. So, fun animal fact about chat. Normally, I have it on a second monitor, and that keeps it happy. Oh, you bastard, don't do that. There we go. But if I don't keep it in front of my screen, in front of my OBS, it just stops recording it. It's fine. I am doing fine. Oh. Anyway, we want 1 ounce of Passoa. Here we are. Let's get that. There we are. Lovely color to this stuff as well. Like, I'm hoping you can see it there, but yeah, you can see it lovely there. This is going to give us some of our kind of like funky, like fruity, like woo kind of flavor, which is always good to have around. Here we go. Looks like a runnier Calpol. I mean, yeah, in a sense. I always think Calpol was a bit more of a luminous pink compared to this, but you're not far off, there, Tiny Sorcerer. Chat is classified as an animal. We're learning a lot today. Oh, and then, hold on. This next bottle is stuck. There we go. Bloody gloves. And I've undone it already, but our next bottle is going to be this morning like banana liqueur, which is very sweet. In fact, if you guys know, like if you've ever been to like a pick and mix and you see the foam bananas, that's this. This is liquid foam bananas. It's glorious stuff. I fucking love it. And I'll take any excuse to like put a bit of it in something. So because we're going for sweetness and because we've got the lime to kind of balance out this and the Passoa to, you know, make sure we're not just like, you know, eating liquid Haribo here. We're going to put half an ounce of this in. There we are. Look at that banana-y goodness. Get in there. Cool. And finally, our last alcoholic ingredient is going to be 3 dashes, and we're just talking mere dashes here, of Angostura orange bitters specifically. We're going for a little bit of an orangey kick just to finish this off. We're going to give this, you know, the bitters, again, help with, it's one of 2 ingredients that makes this drink start bitter and then turn sweet. It also gives it, like, you know, an interesting kind of little bit of extra, like, notes in the flavor profile there. Gives the drink a bit of a journey. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's all we need. Don't want much of this stuff, unless you're mad. I do have one drink which needs, like, 1/4 ounce of regular Angostura bitters, not the orange ones. And, yeah, it is a little crazy. Oh. Up again. I want. Oh, well, I can certainly show you how it pans out. Now, we're going to want to shake this. For that, I need ice. So give me 1 second, chat. I'm just going to get up and get ice because my freezer's right next to me. Do you make drinks for others, asking for a me? If people visit the Glade, I have been known to make a cocktail or 2 for them. But yeah, anyway, ice. always important to add ice to things you're shaking outside of a few special circumstances. Because dry shaking is precarious, shall we say. If you have something cold, like ice in your shakers, then when you push them both together, it's that kind of temperature difference that creates the pressure seal that stops your two cans here from sliding apart and your drink going everywhere. So I'm just going to weasel out a couple of these. Ugh, there we go. And is that in there as well? Why not? Almost there. There's a fifth one. Alrighty then. Now, we're going to do some shaking. I guess I'll roll it a bit first so you can kind of see what we're working with. Just roll out the first couple. And I'm going to take this behind the mic and see if I can get it to pick this up. So let me know if you hear ice cubes shaking. How are we looking? Too loud? Too quiet? Can't hear anything? Oh my god, that sounds like you're in the middle of a bombing raid. Rattle them bones. Hell yeah. Rattle them, boys. There we are. And then, oops. Don't do that. Otherwise that's going to affect my lighting setup. I'll do a bit of shaking on screen as well. I hear the limes. Flump has apparently developed lime sympathy or something. Like lime telepathy. Yeah, and we basically want to shake this until we mostly stop hearing the ice cubes. Which we're getting there, I think. Like, the more you shake them, the more they'll melt. Ooh, plants do make sounds, actually. Well, I imagine some of them do. But like limes? I'm surprised. Right, then. Okay. So that is our shake and drink. I just need 2 more things, and then we'll start layering this up. So, back in just 1 second again. Right. Here we go. 2 more weapons of choice here. Limes probably make sounds. I'm not a botanist. I mean, come on. I've been a physicist for a while, and I've had to know like the hot secrets of the universe. You're like vaguely biologist, so I expect you to know about anything animal and plant related. That's just how this goes. If I have to suffer, so do you. Anyway, so we're gonna very carefully. I'm gonna bring this to my chest, crack it open actually, because again, difficult with gloves on. Yeah, so our shake and drink looks something like that. Now, what we're going to want to do is use our first implement, which is this strainer, because we did use lime juice. There might be some kind of like, some of the actual like flesh of the lime in that. Also, the Pessoa comes with like a lot of kind of bits in it. And, you know, that's for some people. I don't think it's particularly for me. So I'm going to strain that out. So I'm just going to pour this in here. There we go. And then, I'm debating putting a bit more ice in it. I think I will, you know. This isn't something I did in testing, but I feel like this just makes sense to have a few ice cubes in there. Assuming I can get the buggers out. Christ. Ugh. To be fair, I'm in training. You know what? I'll let you off. Far be it from me to, belittle someone practicing their craft. Oh, there isn't here. Now, you might be thinking, Artie, that's like not even half of that glass. What on earth are you going to do with the rest of it? And the answer may or may not surprise you. But you may recall that the name of this drink was a Grem's Ale. So we're going to be adding something. There we go, I think that should do. Just a handful of ice cubes in there. I'm not going to do like a caipirinha type thing where I layer the whole thing up. But with ice, but a couple in there. Oh, hello there, Raiders. Hold on, let me just check who you are. Oh, hey, Warbus! Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for raiding in and trusting me with your community. I promise we are not mixing illicit substances. But yeah, welcome in, Raiders. It's very nice to see you all here. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Artorius Winchester, a scholar of the Dreaming Glade, and I stream drinking, fighting, and gambling, by which I mean mixing these VTuber cocktails, fighting game streams, and the occasional bit of like mahjong or poker. For MMR only, don't actually gamble for money. Oh. It's good as recreation, not as a, like, get-rich-quick scheme. What we are currently mixing is a cocktail for... I totally forgot to do the thing on my OBS, didn't I? I did! I'm an idiot. I meant to put this here. We're currently mixing a cocktail for Gigi Murin, and then we have one more person to mix a cocktail for after that. So, the final ingredient for this drink, for the Grem's Ale, is none other than a bit of ginger ale to top. So we're going to just lengthen that with ginger ale. There we go. And look at that beautiful color on it. That's really something special. And then to make sure that everything in there is mixed properly, I'm also just going to take this opportunity to wipe some spots of liquid off my desk because, holy, my table does not like liquid on it. Oh god, also, I've punched the camera so far around that it's gone sideways. There we go. What's up? Hope making nice strong drinks is going well. I was playing Speed Freaks in my community. Oh, I've not heard of that one, actually. Yeah, I might have to, what's it about? Like, I might have to check it out if it sounds interesting. Oh. There we are. Right, so I'm going to take my... If I didn't even show this off before I dumped it in there, but I have a very long bar spoon, which is great for doing exactly this sort of mixing. Get a nice little kind of whirlpool going in there. Make sure all of our elements are combined. I mean, by virtue of just density of materials, the alcohol is going to sink to the bottom eventually, but this, you know, at least for a while, keeps things mediated, shall we say. So there we are, there's that. I'm going to dump this in here temporarily. I'm going to make sure the bottom of this is wiped off as best as I can. Move this to the side. And there we have it. Oh. Very long bar things indeed. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, hang on. Excuse me for poking the camera, sorry. There we go. Right. Grab a photo of this for later. So this is a Grem's Ale for Gigi Murin. Let's get on to some flavor notes, shall we? Because I don't know about you, I want to dive into this thing. Yeah, it's such an interesting drink, I think. Like, the relative few ingredients it's comprised of, there's a lot going on there. Like, you obviously start at the head with kind of like a bit of bitterness, I'd say, from like the ginger ale and your like orange bitters there. And the orange bitters means that you can flow really nicely into the fruitiness of like specifically the Passoa, which in turn means that like the rum gets a chance to really shine and enhance that. I do admit, maybe I could do with upping the banana slightly. The banana's a little bit lost in there at the minute. Space Freaks is a racer shooter boomer game set in Warhammer 40k where you play the orc and use the very speedy buggies, wagons, and copters to race across the map. Oh, I get it. Yeah. God, orc race, actually, orc cart, if that's what that basically is, sounds lit, actually. I want the power-up that just paints me like, I don't know, it's not purple, that's stealth. Is it like blue for speed? I forget orc color theory, but yeah, it's like, one of the power-ups is just like blue paint or something. It's just like, oh, we go faster now. Which drink did you need to perfect with your extra prep time? That's a very good question, Antipixel. It's not this one. This one I think I had a good recipe for. I tweaked it a little bit. Maybe, as I said, I could have thrown in a little bit of extra banana to get, because that's kind of getting lost at the minute. The red ones go faster. Right, red. Red's the one. Don't know why I thought red was strength, but yeah. Shows what I know about orcs. I've gone back in for another swig. No, you do get a bit of the banana there, actually. It's subtle, it's not overpowering. I don't think you'd want it to be overpowering because it would, you know, it could very easily undermine the rest of the flavor profile of the drink. but there's something to that. Yeah, it's very drinkable. Like I say, it's not the strongest drink in the world. It's probably got a fair bit of alcohol in it. I mean, there's what, like 2, 3, 3.5 and some change, like, ounces of stuff in there. I did make my own cocktail once. I call it the coconut punch. Ooh, so we're going for like sort of a, I guess you're going for either a Malibu or like a cream of coconut vibe there. If it's cream of coconut, consider me impressed. I normally find that's just a pain to like prep and work with, but yeah, no, that's admirable all the same. Wait, let me just check that chat is chatting still. Yep, we are. We're good. I almost feel like my mic should be kind of more on the left of me than it is in the center of me because of how much I'm turning that way to check things. Or I could maybe set the monitor up to be like... Oh yeah, actually, can I do that now? Ooh. Idea. Hang on. No, because it will reflect off the table and it'll make the lighting look weird. Okay. Right. Considerations for next time. Wait a minute, this isn't fighting games. Indeed, Einarchon. It's one of the couple of other things I do. I'm a man of many talents, them being drinking, fighting, and gambling. And this is the drinking portion. Wow. I tell you what. You don't put much of them in there, but these orange bitters, they really add something to this drink. It's got to be said. Like, you can definitely feel that, and I think they mix, again, so well with that Pessoa. I kind of, like, don't want to retread what I've said earlier. Also, audio. Oh. As in my mic audio or the BGM audio? Never mind. Oh, okay. Never mind. It's been called down. It's fine. I hate how my chat is being cut off early because this monitor literally isn't big enough. Ugh, pain. Oh, right. Well, that is drink number... Wow, holy, we are almost, like, at 9. Did I start super late? Or have I just been talking a lot more than I normally do? God damn. Fight, Drink, and Gamba, the trilogy of peak content. This is what I'm saying, Einarchon. That's what you can expect here on the RT Winchester channel. Just as Go Streamer Chan from Blean Valhalla kicks in the background. Hell yeah. It was Malibu, Schweppes Light Fizz, Tropical Juice, and Thatcher's Blood Orange. Ooh, that does sound nice, actually, yeah. Cider's a difficult one to mix into things as well. Because, like, it normally has, like, a very distinct flavor profile of its own. Particularly if you go on, like, a blood orange one, it's like that's going to have, like, orange flavoring, you know, in there already. So to make something that's harmonious with that is pretty neat. Ooh. Right, anyway, I'm going to save the rest of this for later before I just drink it all on stream. I mean, as much as I could just drink and chat to chat, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Particularly when that's quite crisp and refreshing as well for how sweet it is. Like, it's not cloying at all. Good stuff. Right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though, for the sake of the stream. I'm going to put this to the side for 1 second. I'm just going to go and briefly rinse out my shakers. So, I'm going to put that there, which is nicely capturing my light shadow, but, I mean, okay. Sure. But yeah. I just talk about Sonic and Transformers on my YouTube channel. My content is far from big. Hey, if you're passionate about it, it's peak. It's fine. Oh. But yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm gonna be back in just a second. I'm gonna go and rinse out my shakers and my jigger and that, and then we're gonna be right back making the second drink for our second VTuber. Don't go anywhere. And I'm back. Right. Thank you all for standing by for a second there. Honestly, for these streams, I might just invest in a second pair of cans there. And Warboss, I must leave chat, need to chill, take care. Not a problem at all, Warboss. You'd say you've just been streaming for a while, so believe me, I know how knackering you can get after that. If you need a rest, rest up, buddy, and thank you again for trusting me with your community. It is dash decent of you. But yeah, so we're moving on to our next VTuber then. Which, let's have a look. How have I put the fucking this thing? Aha. There we are. But we're not doing Kigimura anymore. We are doing let's have a look. Our next VTuber is ignore the fact that was blue for a second. It is none other than our I believe she's in chat, Morgana. So and I'm gonna change this on OBS this time so that I can not forget. Actually, I could have given you a picture of my model. All you had to do was ask. But then it wouldn't be a surprise that you were definitely here because you expected anyway. Oh. Like, I could have asked you for a better one for the silhouette and for this. But I didn't. So there. Oh. Anyway, where's this text? There we go. Bada bing. Crazy. What? Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have more. You're not wrong there. But occasionally I am stupid, and yeah. I was looking at the suspiciously Morgana-shaped silhouette. I hope it's a bike. I hope it's a PS5. Oh. But yeah, let's see where Morgana's drink stacks up on the old flavor scale here, or my 4 bars of roughly knowing what a cocktail is about. I don't know. I've been doing this for years. I still don't know what the fuck to call these things, or how to make them better. Or worse, I guess. But yeah. So, I also need to, like... I'm touching my mouse a lot with these hands, these gloves that are now covered in lime juice. So I'm sure this will not come to bite me in the arse later. Anyway. So, now serving Morgana. What do we got here? We're going for a fairly sweet drink. I would say this one is definitely sweeter than the Grem's Ale that we've just made. It's also, I would say, a bit more punchy. This one is more inclined to knock your socks off a little bit. It's not like, you know, it's not Death Valley over here, but it's definitely noticeably more alcoholic. On the simplicity scale, I'd argue it's simpler. We don't even have to cut a lime this time. You don't really get a lot simpler than that. The only slight complexity here is getting the, getting one of the magic ingredients to actually do its thing, shall we say. But we'll come to that in a bit. And we are looking at a cold one, but we're not putting ice in it this time, so it's not as cold as the Grem's Ale. We're just kind of letting it ride in the glass as it is. Oh. I actually didn't recognize the avatar. I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, what? Wait, did you actually not know this was going to happen, Pixel? That's hilarious. A cocktail to rattle your bones. Indeed, Walsian. Is it just vodka and purple food coloring, Artie? No, it's vodka, purple, not food coloring, but purple something else, and some extras. This isn't a bit, I'm dumb. Oh, that's actually so fucking funny. So when I just randomly asked, like, in the Discord last week, by the way, I have an Artorias Winchester Discord. If you're not in it, join it for great bants like this. But yeah, and I was just like, hey everyone, what's your favorite cocktails? For no reason whatsoever. And like, Morn immediately clocked it, and I went, no. Did you just like, oh, okay. You just went like, yeah, that's normal. Oh, I hope it's a puppy. I don't know how I'd make that drinkable. Oh. But yeah. Sorry, let me gasp. What a shocker. There you go. See, now you're on script, Morgana. This is what I paid you that tenner for earlier. Oh. Anyway, where's my slides? There they are. So, oops. I don't know why the background's grey now. I have fucked the slides up. Unless, hold on, is it gonna... Yeah, okay, sure. The colours are there now. We'll go for that. So, this drink went through a lot of iterations and different drafts before I found the recipe that I was happy with. This is the one that delayed this stream from yesterday to today, because I made a version of this on, like, Wednesday or Thursday, and I was like, it's okay, but, like, I can do better here. So I looked around again for a bit more inspiration, and then I bought some of the stuff Saturday morning, and was like, well, I don't want to trial a drink on Saturday, and then drink another 2 cocktails Saturday evening, because that would be considered alcoholism, ladies and gentlemen, and it is frowned upon, and also, don't do that. Yeah, you know, you gotta drink responsibly, I believe is the term I'm angling for, but was missing there for a while. Oh. I was clueless on that. I wanted to respond even. Oh my god, hell yeah. But yeah. So, yeah, this is the one that went through a bunch of iterations. I've ended up on a sort of, like, wild berry kind of vibe. Because it felt sort of witchy. And, you know, I know Morgana's a necromancer, but, like, there's a witchy vibe going on there, I think. And then, because you are a necromancer as well, Morn, I've added in something else that's maybe a bit... you wouldn't normally put in a drink like this. But I think it does work, and it gives the drink, like, its own identity, its own, like, real edge. And, I mean, hey, it came out great for me in testing yesterday. So here's hoping it does again today. We're now presenting the Goblin Berry Brew. I almost called this the Ichor of Unlife, but I think Goblin Berry Brew is kind of more specific. Ichor of Unlife would be like any fucking necromancer. Stirred with a bone. Not quite stirred with a bone, but, there are skeletal parts present. There we are. I'm goofy, so it's perfect. Yeah, I was about to say it's not stirred with a bone, but there are bones present. I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. It's like there are skeletons or parts of skeletons present. Let's get the hand cam on and really get into this, shall we? Here we are. And we're back. So, we've got our freshly washed set of apparatus here. And the first thing we're going to want is... so Morn did say, when I totally stealth mission asked about this in the Discord a while ago, that she was a fan of vodka. And do you know, while I was walking through the various trees of the Dreaming Glade, where this stuff grows, I did happen to find some JJ Cherry vodka. Not something I'd had any dealings with up until this point, but I was like, oh, cherry-infused vodka, yeah, that might work. So, our drink is going to start with a hearty amount of this. I should mention as well, I think one of the things this ended up being kind of a riff on is something called a French martini. And that's, well, it's kind of more tied into our second ingredient, I suppose. But that uses, like, regular vodka and pineapple juice. I've tweaked it a bit. So we're going to start with 1.5 ounces of cherry vodka here. Here we go. And I'm going to try and not tip it everywhere. This on camera, yep. So there we are. Delicious red stuff. There's 1 ounce of it. And here's another half. Ooh, it's a bit fast. There we go. That's why we have the mat. Oh god, that's you can really smell the cherry on this stuff as well. It's potent in its cherry. I'm a super lightweight, by the way, so whatever you make will knock me on my ass. Yeah, this is probably the only drink you'll need for the night. Then I would imagine. I'm not like a super heavyweight, but also that's kind of by British standards, and I get the impression that we're a nation of alcoholics. So I can handle a few of these, but like, you know, you get me on like my second or third one of these, and I'm like, oh, all right, we're all right here. Oh. So our next ingredient, which I also bought specifically for this because I saw it and I was like, ooh, yes, that'll work, is this Chambord, which is a black raspberry liqueur, as it says on the label there. Ooh. God, I hope the next ingredient is a lime. What? I think Flump is secretly a lime. I think he's working with Big Lime. Oh. Yeah, one thing I will say about Chambord is this bottle. You tell me this doesn't look like a potion from like an RPG. You tell me this bottle isn't potion shaped. Like, once I've drunk this, I'm not going to keep this around because that's a cool ass fucking bottle. Look at this. That's a potion. That's a potion. That's what I'm saying. Like, I saw this and I was like, okay, there are drinks that use this, and also the flavor is quite nice. I can't not put this in this drink. I have an empty bottle of that. Oh, hi there, Lunatel. Nice to see you. I want that. Hand me the elixir. Oh, Bioshock potion, indeed. Potion of hangover. True. Also, look how pretty the lid is. Like, this is such a good bottle. And, like, I think this entire, granted, it's a small thing, but this was, like, £8 or something. It's, like, it wasn't even that expensive for how, like, bougie it looks. Anyway, we're going to want half an ounce of this. In fact, I'm going to pour it over here so it's actually on camera. There we go. Half an ounce of Chambord, which is our black raspberry liqueur. Boop. There we go. And then we're going to want another kind of, like, thing to complete the wild berry theme. We are, if I can reach it. Just about. We're going to want 1.5 ounces of this here blueberry juice. Which is something I think also frantically found yesterday. I think this is the thing where I was like, because originally I was trying to make this as just a spirits and syrups kind of drink, and it was kind of blow your head off strong. And I was like, okay, let's scale it back a bit there, buddy boy, shall we? So we're also going to want 1.5 ounces of this blueberry juice, which is really sweet, actually. And also, I think, pretty great for lengthening drinks like this with. Because, like, it gives it a note of sweetness, but doesn't, like, overpower things. It's not like an orange juice where, like, if you tip it in, like, that's basically all you're tasting. Blue. Need more blue in my diet. True. Are you getting your 5 a day of blue? Technically, this drink will count as 2 of your 5 a day for blue. Right. And there's an ounce. There we are. Now, we've all done, you know, very good job of doing, like, some wild berry ingredients here. And if we were making a drink for, like, a fucking druid VTuber or something, I'd be patting myself on the back. Or, like, you know, maybe a kind of, like, a more kind of typical witch. But Morgana's a necromancer, goddammit. We've got to get slightly funky and weird in here. So, the first thing we're going to add is 1/2 ounce of this. Get 27, which is a mint liqueur, which I use very sparingly. You can probably tell by how much of this is still left in the bottle. It's got to be fruity and evil. Did the Asda also grow between the trees? Yes. Asda is just what I call that particular field of trees where I grab stuff. God, this won't be hell to write up in the Artie Winchester Dreaming Glade lore later. Ooh, necromancer equals mint makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I think what really gives it, and I will obviously mention this in the tasting notes, but I'll bring it again here, is that this means that when you, like, exhale after you've drunk this, it's, like, cold. And I feel that coldness kind of has that, like, deathy vibe to it without feeling like it's killed you. But, like, it's a subtle way to get that across, because there's 2 ways you can run necromancer drinks. It's either, you know, it's either something like this, or this drink is going to kill people or bring people back from the dead. Oh. This drink is very minty and fresh. It's a staple of French cocktails. Yeah. Well, I mean, funny you should say that. It's probably why it fits so well into this one, because this entire drink, we'll see, is a riff on a French martini, so. The only problem with Get 27 is that the lids are a bugger to get off. There we go. So, let me, yeah, I think that's it. So we want 1/2 ounce of this. Go. Put a bit of that in there. We're getting a lore book? I mean, at some point, if I get big enough that I can make a proper lore video and stuff, I will. But, like, we're a little ways off that yet. But hey, keep spreading the good word, and eventually, you know, we will, I will try and reconcile this hellish mess I've put myself in for the past 3 years. This cocktail's gonna have that bubbling cauldron color. I want to know where the Glade Geezer came from. Hell yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do. Alright, so technically final ingredient here. And it's one I'm going to point out. This is a rarity on this channel, but this is an entirely optional ingredient. So if you look at our kind of cocktail currently, you notice it's kind of quite red. Now, this is fine and all, but Morgana's color scheme, we're looking at purples and greens here. We're not looking at a lot of red. So how do we reconcile that? I reconcile it personally by adding the smallest amount, and I mean small, of blue curacao. you do not want too much of this. Like, I think a quarter of an ounce is probably still a bit too much, which is why I say if you're just drinking it for the taste, you can skip this. If you want to do proper presentation, I would say as little as this you can get away with, because blue curacao is very... It's orangey, but it's very synthetic-y kind of orange. So it'll overpower a lot of the other natural, you know, like kind of cherries, raspberry, black raspberries, blueberries we kind of put in there if you let it. So for presentation purposes, we are adding a scant amount of this blue curacao. It has eaten my glove. Oh no, it's fine. Yeah. Purples and greens, you say? Oh. I want to know about the Asda trees and the Tesco meal crafting recipe. Ah, yes. God, my favourite crafting recipe in the Glade of Dreams, the Tesco meal deal. I mean, that's a lie, actually. It's the Greg's sausage roll, but... So... Meh. I would go maybe even that little. You really don't want much of this stuff. So let's just... dash it. Okay, maybe a tiny bit more. No, I'm gonna stick to my guns. Hopefully this will still be purple. If not, then you would add a bit more blue curacao. But hey-ho. And there is one final magical ingredient, which I had lying about, so I thought, it's a magic-y kind of drink. We can get into this. This is a small vial of purple edible glitter, and it makes drinks sparkly and cool. So, we're going to pop her open. Oh, shit. It's fine. The lid was still on. I haven't got glitter everywhere. Oh. Yes, sparkly cocktail, indeed. So what we're going to do is, and I'll try and angle this so you can see it. We're just going to want, like, a little bit of that in there. I don't know about that much, maybe. Glitter! Yeah. Oh, it's good. And I like, admittedly, the glass I think the glass I'm putting this in works for the drink, but doesn't necessarily show this off the best, but I will try my damnedest to show this off to you all. That said, we're going to need to mix this, and you all know that means I need a little more ice. So, 1 second. Ice acquired. Can you eat that? Indeed you can, Mimi. This is edible glitter. I mean, it's not going to kill you any faster than the alcohol is. Look at it that way, so... you know. You can take it with a pinch of salt, or a pinch of glitter in this case. I'm already full of macroplastics. Drop in the ocean. Exactly, yeah. Oh. I'm full of so many macroplastics, Lean. I legally qualify as having Botox. Ugh. Right, here we are. And I'm going to put a fair few ice cubes in this. You probably only need like 3 to make the seal, and then the rest is just how much you want to kind of like water down or like, you know, reduce the overall strength of your cocktail per sip. So I'm going to put 5 little hexagons, I guess, in there. And then try and swap the rest of the ice out the fucking way. There we go. Alright. So, that's our drink at the minute. It'll look a lot better once we've shaken it. But let's get on that, shall we? So, I'm going to hop behind the mic again here for the first one, where it's going to be the loudest. Here we go. Oh. Also going to try and not lose my headset in the process. Rattle 'em, boys. There we go. And... oops. Ow. Punched my fucking mic arm. It's fine. A little bit on screen. This one's taking a little longer to give in. I guess probably because it's got more ice cubes in there, but it'll get there. Almost there now by the sounds of things. Just gotta keep going a little bit. As an aside, you have no idea what a fucking, like, arm and, like, pec workout. Because I'm hugging, like, a camera setup and my mic and my ring light here. Like, Basically, I've got T-Rex arms this entire stream. I don't, like, they're only about as long as my elbows as far as the table's concerned, because, like, the rest of me is hugging all this bollocks. Alright, here we go. I'm going to call that done. Mainly because I'm out of breath, and that's slightly embarrassing. So, we have here, to present it, a martini glass. But not just any martini glass. No, ladies and gents. We have a martini glass with a little skull at the bottom. Originally, I was going to have him floating in the drink. But the problem with that is that he's kind of got a hole in the back of him here, where I removed him from the rest of his skeleton. And yeah, that fills up with alcohol, and also he doesn't really float. Otherwise, he'd be floating in the drink. But yeah. That didn't work out, so he's got this little string attached. I just put him around the rim, was like, yep, that'll do. That's presentation or something, which is half the battle of the cocktails. Right, here we go. So this should have mixed together a bit more nicely now. And, assuming I've got the measurements right, if I pour this in here... There we are. A lot more of like a purple color as opposed to a red. Ooh. There we go. Lovely stuff. Okay. Tell you what. We put these on here. Pick this up very carefully. Move this out the way. Oh, piss. Yep. Well, this is why we keep kitchen roll around. 1 second. You could make him... I could have got like a skull, like ice cube tray, yeah. Hang on a second. I gotta do a bit of cleaning. Oh, fuck. I knocked it again. It's fine. It's fine. We just don't talk about it. We just don't talk about it. Why would we talk about it? That's silly. You're silly for talking about it. It happened again. Don't worry. Okay. So how do I fix this? Please wait while we wipe down the bar. Yeah. Please wait while the man who probably should not be making any more drinks continues to spill stuff from this martini glass. Or should have at least done this one first, maybe. Right, can we chill? Can we chill? I think we're chilling. Admittedly, it's probably a little bit of an overfill on this particular glass as well, but hey-ho. I'm going to put this here. There we are. I'm going to just... Oh, there's mop up the rest of that spillage. There we go. It's fine. Can you stand up, please? There we go. Oh, I need to move it back a bit. This will be a good test to see if it's still full of water. It is. Well, not water, alcohol, but you know what I mean. There we go. Right. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me get that slightly more center frame. Bada bing. So there we have the Goblin Berry Brew. A couple of versions of that, actually. Right. Okay, now that that crisis has been averted, I tell you what, I do love this little skull guy. I'm gonna see if I can convince him to part with the glass. I can't. Okay, cool. He just lives here. I'll have to finish the drink before I can remove him from the glass. It's fine. Oh, it looks so good. Well, I'm not sure if you can see, actually. Let me try and get this real up close to the camera. But can you see how, like, the glitter's making that sparkle? I think you can just about see it there. But, like, it really makes the drink look kind of, like, a lot more magical. I'm about to tip this over my hand. God damn it. But yeah, hopefully that comes across on camera. It does in real life. I'm looking at my camera here. It kind of looks like it, if you know what you're looking for, but... We can, yes. It looks tingly. Well, we shall see what it tastes like as well. Oh, that's good. Yeah. It's... It's kind of odd, like... Oh, God, it is so good, though. Oh, I love that. So, the mint doesn't overpower this, but it makes the whole drink feel, like, quite cool. Like, you know, like I said, you kind of got that minty kind of exhale on the end of the drink. At the start, you're very much greeted by, like, I think the cherry vodka and the Chambord, like, first and foremost. The cherry vodka giving that kind of, like, more powerful fruity note, and then the Chambord adding kind of like a lighter edge to it. That's very cool. The blue curacao, thankfully, in fact, you can probably tell this looks like a lovely purple now, so I didn't put in too much or too little of that, because it's there in the background, but it's not, you know, the star of the drink. And the blueberry juice also adds to that sweetness. And yeah, it's a magnificent sipper. Oh, new subscriber. Hello. Wow, thank you very much, Morgana. And thank you for your generous contribution to getting me out of the Glade of Dreams. Cheers. Enjoy your emotes, and I promise I'll try and have something else there for subscribers at some point. I don't know. I'm pulling a plank at the minute. It's like, I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far. I'd like to buy a drink. Well, this one's on you then. Cheers. It's lovely stuff. It really is. There's a certain, like, turning point in the middle of that as well. You have the start, which is, like, kind of quite sweet. I'm starting to think now maybe the start is like the vodka and the blueberry juice, and that half an ounce of Chambord really kind of pivots in the middle towards the mintiness at the end. It's like you imagine it kind of like a bell curve where, like, you've kind of got, like, you know, like, kind of the vodka cherry at the start and the blueberry juice. It's kind of fairly tame, and then it kind of goes, like, oh, up to this kind of, like, peak where I think the Chambord is, and then kind of back down, and you're kind of sliding on this kind of minty, like, exhale on the, on, like, the later end of that. I should become a streamer and then get a VTuber to get my arty cocktail order. It only makes sense. I mean, hey, you know, I'll make cocktails for any VTubers I'm fond of. I've done plenty in the past, both big and small. In fact, I try and do both, you know, like, VTubers of all sizes. Because I like VTubers of all sizes, well, you know, first and foremost. But yeah, certainly something you could do. Hey, if that's the motivation, and you were going to try and do it anyway, then go for it. Well, what else do I say about this drink, though? I mean, aside from the fact that I'm going to absolutely, like, neck this as soon as I'm off stream, and then try and very carefully carry all my delicate equipment back upstairs. If I stream, will you make a tiny cocktail for me? I mean, I do have shot glasses about. I could make you, like, if you wanted. I think I've done one in the past where I've done a VTuber's cocktail has been like a series of shots. I could try it again. I do find there's a lot, obviously, you're a lot more restricted in your room to play around with ingredients here. Because, like, obviously, all these drinks had, like, 4 or 5 ingredients. In shots, you get, like, 2 if you're lucky. Conceptually, you nailed it. Thank you. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm really proud how that came out. And I definitely think that extra time in the, you know, in the proverbial oven, adding the blueberry juice, kind of going kind of more as like a general riff on the French martini as opposed to doing this, well, I want the vodka and the Chambord and, like, the mint liqueur and the blue curacao, and I want it to just work. And then it was like, it was too much because you need the blueberry juice in there to, like, help space things out, help kind of almost act like a kind of a syrup and just sweeten things up so that they're in more harmony. The twist would be that there needs to be weak shots. Interesting. It can be done, to be fair. Might have to think about flavors and stuff, but that's doable. I mean, like, but weak shots are, yeah, they're definitely done. 10 out of 10. Only improvement would be a purple umbrella. Well, if it gets Morn's seal of approval, I reckon I've done a good job here. So I'm proud of that. Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate seal, isn't it? It's just like, you know, if the VTuber I've made it for, and this happened a couple of times in the past, actually sees it and is like, yo, this is cool, and, like, that's what I'm here for, you know? That's all I need. Just to know that the work goes appreciated. And thank you all, actually, I think, who've been here. The glitter sealed the deal. It's magic, this stuff. Like, I bought it, like, God, years ago, and I've still got so much of this left in 4 different colors. I think I've got, like, purple, red, gold, and blue. But yeah, for, like, such a small container, you really don't need much of this to make something, like, great. In fact, for anyone who does pick up some of this, I would advise not putting in too much until you know what you're doing. Partly because you don't want glitter everywhere, and partly because if you do, it tends to form this kind of, like, this, like, film kind of, like, yeah, there's sort of, like, film on either the top of your drink or the bottom of the glass, and it looks a bit weird. But yeah, no, you have just the right amount, it just makes your drink sparkle. And again, like, I think I'm just gonna try and camera, do you want to focus? Yeah, there you are. But you focus on the top now, you can probably see tons of it in there. Yeah. We like our sparkly necromancer drink. And you know what? I stand by the skull, even if he's been an inconvenient dickhead and made me spill a bunch of this. It's fine. Oh. God, that's neat, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's kind of my flavor notes for it. Is like, if you like kind of fruity stuff and you want it to have something a bit different, This is the drink for you. God, that is so good. That is so fucking good. You can tell by the fact I've drunk half of it already. Christ. Oh. The skull had so much charm. I mean, like, to be fair, yeah. I had the rest of the skeleton for, like, a drink I made for... God, I want to say, like, Fruit or someone, like, years ago? I can't even remember what I needed that, but it was doing, like, I had a little skeleton hand doing the, like, I'll be back, coming out the top of it. Artie, it's Sunday. True, yeah. So I guess I better finish this up and get to bed slightly earlier than I normally would for these streams. But yeah, like I say, I hope you've all enjoyed that. These streams, honestly, they normally only go for like about an hour because I don't want to make more drinks than this, particularly on a Sunday. Then I'd have to drink 3 of them. That's going to spell disaster tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm going to go and actually find us someone to raid into, I think. Can you bring my goat back for one last time? What, the spent limes? Sure. Here's a fucking spent lime for, Flump. Oh. Drink 3 of them. Oh, I don't know. I think I could drink all 3 of them. The results tomorrow morning would maybe not be favorable. Excellent. Oh. But yeah, there's a spent lime for Flump as well, who seems to be in league with him. But yeah, anyway, let me see if I can find us someone to raid into this fine evening. Oh god, what does the raid button look like when the screen is tiny? Have a look. Is anyone I know streaming? That would be a solid no. Okay. Hold on. Let me search for... God, I don't know. Anyone playing Granblue? Maybe we can raid someone into there. It doesn't look like any of my followers are really streaming. Ooh, never mind. There might be a tournament on. At Watoria FTC. So you know what? We're going to go raid into there. So, yeah, thank you all very much for coming. It does look like there's a tournament on, yeah. I guess go tell them Artie said hi. And for those of you watching on the VOD or on any other end, I don't let me just check chats 1 second. Remember, you need to upload your schedule. I do. That might happen tomorrow now. I'm going to be very real with you, Pixel. But it will get there. And don't worry, I know which order things should be in. We've discussed it. It's cool. But yeah, I'm going to raid us into there. Tell them Artie said hi. And because obviously I'm probably going to jet off to move all my kit back upstairs. But yeah, and for the rest of you, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Artorius Winchester, and I'll see you all next time. Farewell!